Oh, got a question already. I've got something that I wanted to do as well, just in case no one asked a question, but I've got my first question already. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. How much does your weight vary up and down between weigh-ins? And have you said you're a daily? I've said I'm a daily weigher, which I am. I'm a multiple daily weigher. I've just weighed myself after I've been to the toilet. Mine varies between 2 to 3 pounds from day to day. Oddly, the past few days, my weight's stayed the same. Weighed in on Thursday, and I was 12 stone 13.8. Weighed in on Friday and I was 12 stone 12.8, so I lost a pound overnight. Then when I weighed in on Saturday, it had gone back up to 12 stone 13.8, and it's exactly the same today. Normally it can go, I can vary between 2 or 3 pounds a day. I vary between 5 to 7 pounds. Hi Emma. You too. I vary between 5 to 7 pounds a day. I've just weighed myself now and I'm 13 stone 7. So in a day I've put 7 pounds on. It's my daily fluctuations, and I totally understand that. That doesn't freak me out at all, because I totally understand that that's what it is, and that's just the way that my body is. But daily it can vary. I can put like 3 pounds on in a day and then take it off the next. It's all dependent on like what I eat. If I tend to lose, hi Kaz, I tend to put a little bit more on if I have a particularly salty day or particularly sweet day. If I use a lot of my weeklies. Hi Lorraine. So yeah, it varies. While people are coming on, quite a few people have asked about the different milks that I use, because I do use, hi Rebecca, hi Wendy, do use an awful lot, hi Fiona, of different milks. So I've had quite a few questions. Yeah, my weight can fly up and down throughout the day, everything. Yeah, Becky, hi Becky, yeah, daily weigher. I think it depends on the person. It doesn't bother me. I've been doing it for years. Hi Julie. I've been doing it for years and years and years. So literally I will step on the scales first thing in the morning. Sometimes it doesn't even register. I'm like, oh right, whatever. Unless it's weighing day, then it definitely registers. So hi Tammy, I'll quickly do my milks just so that I can direct people, and I'll probably do another proper video on it. Hi Shirley, hi Christine. First milk that I'm going to show you is my Arla Best of Both. Tesco's, Morrison's, they all do that. I use, weirdly, I've got a really weird thing with my milks. 105 mils of this, hi Kathy, is 1 smart point. So I can have 3 cups at 35 mils each, or I can have 2 at 50. Hiya. Cupcake, hiya. So yeah, or it's 170 mils I think for 2 smart points. Hi Sarah. So that's my milk that I put in my tea. Milks that I put in my cereal tends to be almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. I've just used that today in some cereal, and I use 150 mils for 1 smart point. Just saves me using loads of points on milk. And then I like my milky coffees, which most of you will probably know. Hiya. It's not Gavin, is it? It's Sue. I remember that. Sure, it's Sue. Bob is like skimmed. It's similar points to skimmed milk, but it's creamy like semi-skimmed. So, and a lot of people, yeah, thought it was. So a lot of people will use, have said that it is like, it's like having semi-skimmed milk, but similar points to skimmed. I won't use skimmed milk now because it's like dishwater to me when I put it in my cup of tea. Yeah, Bob is brilliant. I highly recommend it, and it has really good date on it as well. Because it's Arla, it tends to have a really good date on it. It'll last like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I know someone that freezes it and it's absolutely fine as well. It's just that if I freeze it, I'll just forget it's there and then end up chucking it away. Obviously I have a thing for coffee. Yeah, probably exactly the same milk. It's nice and creamy. It's like having semi-skimmed milk in your tea, basically. It's lovely. So I have a coffee probably every day. Weirdly, haven't had one today. It's very strange. Oat milk, I use 230 mils of that for 4 smart points. So I know before I even start, when I get my milk out my fridge, which one's got the most points in. The coconut barista, which is my new find, that's from Tesco's, and I get 240 mils of that for 3 smart points. And then my other one is the almond barista. I get 245 of that for 2 smart points. And someone asked which milk I choose. It's literally depending on what I fancy and how many points I've got to use. This is quite sweet. I do like this, but it is quite sweet. And sometimes I don't take sugar in my tea. So for me, I have to be in the mood for an almond milk. I have to be in that sweet mood. Oat milk is probably still my favourite. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you very much. Oat milk is still my favourite. It's quite creamy. It's a really nice milk to have. I boot my scales around, so I don't move my scales around to recalibrate. I boot them around. If they don't say what I say, I just keep nudging them with my foot until they sort of say what I want. And a lot of the time, it doesn't even say that. Coconut milk is lovely. That is really, really nice. For 3 smart points for 240 mils, it's really nice. But again, it's quite a sweet one, so I have to be in the mood for that. So, yeah, I've finished my milk questions. It's just that a few people have asked around the milks and specifically which one I choose, and it is literally depending on how many points and what mood I'm in, what flavour I fancy that day. The oat milk one is the higher pointed one at 4 smart points, so I have to have some points to play with to have that one, especially if I'm going for a 30 pointed day. But if it's the weekend, like I had one yesterday. So, yep, ask away. Any questions? When it comes to nutrition tips, I don't always make the best choices. I readily admit I do not always make the best choices. Hang on, I'll get to the latte one in a minute. Sorry, nearly got distracted. Nutrition tips, I'm not a coach. I have no nutritional training whatsoever. I don't make the best choices sometimes. What it is with me is it's what I fancy and what I want to eat. As long as I have sort of fruit and veg in a day, I don't necessarily aim for 5. I'll just, as long as I've had a little bit, I make sure that I drink 4 half-litre bottles of squash a day. So I make sure I get my fluids in. I exercise once a day. I do yoga. It's a year of yoga today. Gym shut last year on yesterday and today, and on the 21st I started yoga. So it's a year. I've done a year of daily yoga. So happy. So yeah, nutritional tips. I'm not the person to ask for that because I'm really not. I'm not trained in that. I literally, for me, and for me to stay on plan, I eat the foods that I know are going to satisfy me. So, energy, I've compared to what I was before. I mean, at my heaviest, I was 31 stone 1 pound. So my energy's gone right up anyway. I do take some vitamins, but my energy levels are fine. I do eat. I probably do tip the scales at 5 fruit and veg a day. Or I make sure I have salad for a meal. I make sure I have a couple of apples. So my energy levels are absolutely fine. So I'll go back to the questions. Hang on a second, let me scroll up. Someone's asked what my why was. I was 31 stone 1 pound when I started. My friend turned around to me and said, "Shall we start Slimming World? Shall we start Slimming World?" And I turned around and said, yeah, all right then. The normal, oh, go on then, might as well. And my partner gave me a big kick up the bum the night before and said, it's basically, you can't blame anyone else for you eating. You have to take responsibility. And it just, something clicked in my head. I was like, yeah, you're right. I do have to take responsibility. Nobody else is forcing me, ever forces me to eat. It's totally my responsibility. And after that, that was my clicking moment. So it wasn't necessarily my why, was the fact that I was hugely overweight. I was morbidly obese, basically, and that still didn't make me do it. It was the fact that suddenly something clicked in my head, and I went, do you know what? Actually, it is my responsibility. What I eat is my responsibility. I can't blame someone at work for bringing cakes in, because I don't have to eat those cakes. I don't have to do it. And in fact, I didn't tell anyone I was starting my weight loss journey, which actually helped, because I think if people know that you're on a weight loss plan, they will automatically go, oh, go on, you've been really good. Oh, go on, go on. And it sort of puts you on the back foot a little bit. So with me, it is literally, yeah, my why is the fact that I was a very big girl. Someone's asked about the coffee machine. I did get it up. That's the one that I've got. It's a Beko one. Sorry, my thingy screen. Amazon have got it. I got mine from AO. If you just Google Beko coffee machines, it's an espresso one. And literally, I just got it for the steamer. When we first went into lockdown, Costa, I hugely missed my milky coffees from Costa, and putting a milk in a pan and heating it on the hob was not cutting it for me. I wanted a proper latte. Hello. Yeah, so yeah, that's the coffee machine I've got. If you go into my link tree, which should be around on my Instagram, if not, it's in my bio on my yeah, in the bio on my Instagram, or it should be on my YouTube. I've got an Amazon thingy on there, and I've put it on the list for that, so it should be in there as well. So if you go on there and have a look, it should be in there. The next question, have I tried the WWE chocolate spreads? No, I haven't. When I went to the last workshop I went to, they obviously, this is quite new, the spread, they didn't have anything. I wanted some Too Smart pointed bars to tide me over for those times when you just want the 2 pointed ones, and they didn't have any of those. So I should be going to a workshop in a couple of weeks. Lady contacted me on Instagram and said that she really wanted to go to a class, but she didn't have the confidence. So I said I'd go with her on the first one. And obviously we then went into lockdown. This was over a year ago. And she contacted me the other day and asked if I'd go. And I said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to just meet her there. It is really daunting going into a WW class. When you're not used to it. So I should be going there. Might get it. Then again, I have got some of the Skinny Food Co's orange ones still. So yeah, I haven't tried it. Is it nice? I think that's the question. Is the chocolate one nice? The chocolate one's lovely, Wendy says. Yeah, if they've got it in the class, I might get it. Sorry, if they've got it in the workshop, I might get it. Yeah, the coffee machine that I've said there does the milk frother for me. So it's an espresso, so it does my coffee and it does the milk frother as well. So it does both. Do I have WW scales? When if you're asking about the W scales, do you mean the ones that weigh myself on, or the ones that I weigh my food on? If you just pop it in the thingy and let me know. Someone was using a lot of points on the Nescafe Skinny Cappuccino. How do I find the skinny range? Do you mean the syrups, or do you mean the milks that I use? Because I just use the barista ones, and depending on how much I want to use, I do get quite a big mug out of that though. So Kaz has asked, does exercising slow down my weight loss? Depends what I do. Really does depend what I do. And I think if you're using new muscles, then it can do a little bit, but with yoga, the syrups and the creamers, I'll get back to that one in a sec. So depending on what I'm doing, but because I do yoga, it might do, because I tend to pick and choose the videos that I want to do, that I want to focus on. So I'm trying to do a few more 30 days. I've done all of Yoga with Adrian's 30 days ones now. I'm now doing Dedicate again. So I've already done that one and I'm doing it again. So I'm going to go through them all again. But I like to mix in a few other videos. So she tends to, when she's doing a 30-day one, she'll tend to do your whole body, and she'll go around in sort of a little bit of a... she'll do this bit, and then she'll do a little bit of this bit, and then she'll do a little bit of meditation-y stuff, and then she'll do something else. So I don't think that yoga necessarily does now. I think it did at the start slow down my weight loss. So Rebecca's asked, do I deliberately fast, or does it just work out that way because you're not hungry in the mornings? I've done the last 2 days till 2 p.m. So I've read a little bit about intermittent fasting. I don't deliberately not eat. This morning I had breakfast because I was really, really hungry. But normally when I wake up, I used to work on a ward. So I used to do personal care with older adults, and I just couldn't really stomach breakfast in the morning. So I never used to really eat it. Even at my biggest, I never used to really eat breakfast. I just used to eat when I get home instead. Just used to stuff my face later. So I've never been used to eating breakfast. So I'm not hungry. I tend to get a little bit if I get a little bit peckish, I'll have something to drink and a piece of fruit, and that normally takes the edge off quite a lot, actually. Then I don't tend to get hungry till 12, 1, sometimes even 2. So I end up sort of intermittently fasting, but I don't do it on purpose. If I'm hungry, I will eat. So this morning I was particularly hungry. I ate, and then I was still hungry afterwards. So I had my dinner a little bit earlier than I would have normally had. But then that seemed to cut off my hunger, which was quite good. So I don't actually intermittent fast. How are you finding it, the intermittent fasting though? Let me know when you weigh in, if it's made any difference to your weight loss. But yeah, it just ends up that way. I try to eat when I'm hungry rather than when I think I should. I've gone through the period where, when I first started, I would eat 3 meals a day when I did Stimming World. So I had breakfast, and I tended to have overnight oats. Then I'd have a big dinner. Then I'd have quite a bit for tea. So I'd have like 3 decent meals, but that was to keep me going and to stop my hunger. And then as I've gone on, and then when I switched to WW, my eating habits have evolved. So when I did start WW, I was still eating breakfast. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, I'm eating breakfast, which then makes me more hungry. So I end up eating a lot more than I normally would, because that seems to trigger my hunger. So for me, I personally, if I'm hungry in the mornings and I want breakfast, I will eat it. If I'm not hungry, I'll just hold out for a few hours until I am. So, but yeah, let me know how the intermittent fasting goes. What vitamins do I take? I take cod liver oil, because I'm getting old and my joints are a bit creaky. I take vitamin D. Since lockdown, I've decided to take vitamin D because I wasn't going out as much. I take something that I can't pronounce. I did do an Instagram post about it. I have Raynaud's, so my fingers and my toes, my circulation is really bad. And I watched a webinar, I think it's called, don't know how to say that, I think I've said it right, the other week, from the Raynaud Society did one with a rheumatologist. I think I've said that right as well. And he recommended, I will pop it in the description for this video later because I can't say it. Basically, it's supposed to help with memory. So for dementia patients, it's supposed to be quite good, but it also apparently helps with Raynaud's as well. So I'll pop the name of that in the description. And I also take a hair, skin and nail supplement. And I've started taking, using the Cocoa Locks every morning, which is one smart point. So I was in an hour about whether to point it, and then I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll put 7 days worth in, which would have been 10 points. I thought, really need to point it, because else I'm either if I used it daily, I'm basically not pointing a point a day, and it is hot chocolate. And even though it is sort of medicine-y, I think it has made a difference. I was thinking it was wishful thinking, but my partner did say my hair does look a little bit thicker, so I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I got it really, really cheap. It's supposed to be 25 quid from Holland and Barrett, but they were selling it off for £2.50. So I've got like 3 boxes of it. It did have short shelf life, but it'll be fine. But yeah, so couple of you asked me questions and I've put on nothing dodgy. So it's obviously whatever you've asked has triggered something. So if you can't see your comment on there, ask again. But if I don't know why it's retracted your comment, but it won't let me look at it. Rebecca Chu has asked me something and it's retracted your comment, and I think somebody else has just asked as well. So yeah, they're the vitamins I use, and I'll put the one for my Raynaud's, I'll put it in the description on this video, but I have mentioned it on Instagram before. So Lorraine's asked, how do I manage to keep going? She's lost 4 stone, which is absolutely brilliant. That is really, really fantastic. Now going 3 back. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that. I'm really fed up. Yeah, it's so easy to put the weight back on again. I can easily put a stone on. Messages get retracted because I've put something. I've basically I do get some dodgy messages sometimes. I think we all get dodgy messages sometimes, and if you go on some of my earlier videos, like a lot of porn stuff goes on, like porn links. So basically that's why I've put, can you like retract anything dodgy, because it just means that if anything's spam, it just retracts the message. So it will only do that if certain keywords, or if it thinks that there's something dodgy going on. I don't know why it decides that, but yeah. So that's all that is. So you've lost 4 stone and put 3 back on. Losing 4 stone is amazing. It's so easy to put it back on again. And I can easily put a stone on from a couple of days off. That's what I use. Ginkgo, that's the one. Rebecca's just put it on. Thank you. I can't even say it. So yeah, it's so easy to put it back on. With me, and what keeps me going is my routine and habits. When I first started, I did about 2.5 years without a day off, which is an awful long time, but I was really, really focused. I was really stubborn, and I sort of gave myself a massive kick up the bum. What my partner said about everything being on me and me being in control really clicked in my head, and I was really, really focused. But then the problem was, when I wanted a day off, I was really worried that I would lose control because I hadn't had a day off. So it's about building in a good routine and habits every time I come off plan. So if I come off plan by accident or on purpose, when I come back onto it, it's literally routine and habit. I know the points in various things. I know I can have a low pointed day if I need to. It is literally those routine and habits that keep me going. And that just automatically kicks in now because I've been doing this for nearly 6 years. So I weigh everything, I measure everything, I put it straight in the app. I exercise every day, I drink 2 litres of fluids every day, but it's about building those habits up over time. So whatever you want to start and focus on, which is why I didn't exercise at the beginning. I didn't want to exercise. I'll readily admit, when I first started, I lost all of my weight without exercising. We'd go for the odd walk when I was losing, or you automatically move a little bit more. So we would go into town and I'd end up walking around because I had a little bit more energy, whereas before we wouldn't even go into town because I would literally have to hold on to my partner when we were walking around because my back would start killing me and I physically couldn't carry my weight around town, around Birmingham city centre. I was so heavy and I didn't like it. So as I lost weight, you sort of start moving a little bit more. But I personally chose not to actually go and exercise. My focus was purely my diet, and I needed to get control of what I was eating. Um, and it's also about finding out about what your likes and dislikes are with food. That makes a huge difference as well. A lot of the foods that I would eat on a normal basis, I I wouldn't touch now, because I'm I don't like them as much as I thought I actually did. I used to I've said it before, pork pies for me, I thought were like gorgeous and lovely, and I could eat a pork pie every day, and I'd buy a pack of 4 and I'd eat 4 of them. But actually now I would not spend points on a pork pie. I really wouldn't. And it's because when I've had it now, I'm going, it's not actually worth it. I can't eat the fat anymore. My thing used to be pork chops with the fat on. I used to love it. I can't do it now. I literally cut the fat off before I cook them. Even bacon. I had bacon the other day, and I pointed it with the fat on because it's the nutritional pack for the whole thing. It's proper back bacon, so it was the nutrition information with the fat on, and I cut the fat off it. I can't eat it anymore. It's just, I look at it and go, it's not what I thought it was. If you get what I mean, it was literally, I was chucking food down my throat, and half the time I wasn't tasting it. And that's the thing. It's about finding out what you actually like to eat. And that's what I've done. I will eat foods that satisfy me, and I will happily spend points on things like pizza, because I do still love pizza. I have a McDonald's breakfast because that's my thing and I love them. So it's about finding. Emma stopped her husband going to get a pork pie for tea. They're not as nice as you think they are. So yeah, it's about finding out about you, and about putting habits and routines in that bring you back to it. So I will literally do 3 4 weeks on plan. I think I'm up to 3 weeks on plan now, and I've no intention of having a day off till it's my birthday in a couple of weeks. It's birthday Easter Sunday. Tesco's have got an Easter countdown, and I was going, oh, it's nice of them to count down to my birthday on an email I had the other day. So it's about finding out about you, putting habits and routines in that are going to pull you back in. So finding those foods that you like, and it's about not thinking about this as a diet. Every single time I have started a weight loss plan before, a diet, and I have started a diet, because I will cut stuff out. I will go and buy cottage cheese, which I do fancy occasionally, but literally it's once. I don't think I've had cottage cheese now for over a year. So I will automatically, when I started a diet before, I would go out and buy those foods. I'd go and buy Ryvita, I'd go and buy things like that. I would have stuff, and I would bulk cook as well. My problem is I don't mind bulk cooking, but I'll end up eating the same thing for 3 or 4 days, and that bores me after a while. So I have to mix and match, which is why I don't tend to bulk cook. I do like ready meals, and I do like quick. I'm not the best cook, and I don't think that makes a difference with WW. I think as long as you're careful with what you eat, and you're honest and you track it, you can have what you want. So it's, yeah, habits, routines, building them in, finding what you like to eat, and not thinking about that you're restricted, because I think that makes a huge difference as well. So yeah, it's literally is habit and routine. Pauline's put, did you have knee or joint pain at your heaviest, and did losing weight help if it did? I didn't have knee, weirdly, I didn't have knee pain, and I didn't have like joint pain in my legs. My legs have been fine. I was quite lucky. Mine was lower back pain. If I went to the supermarket, I would get a trolley so I could lean on it, because it was that bad. Even walking around a supermarket was that bad. It was lower back pain. That has totally gone now. Sometimes get it at the time of the month and stuff, and occasionally I'll get it if I pull it. But yoga's brilliant for stuff like that. I found I had really bad sciatica. I've had it twice now since losing weight. I had it halfway through my journey, and then I had it last year. And I was daily swimming last year because that was supposed to help, and I found that it didn't. So with me, I started the daily yoga a year ago today, and I focused on lower back and sciatica, which Yoga with Adrian has got, and I found that's helped hugely with stuff like that. If I do get any tension in my back or my shoulders or my hips, I will do a specific video. She's got specific ones, and I'll do that, and I found that does help a lot. Helps an awful lot to target those particular bits. And you just literally do what you can. If you can't do it, don't do it. And I never feel bad if I can't do something, but you just literally do what you can, and I found that helps a lot. But losing the weight has definitely helped with my back. So yeah, I can carry a lot more. I can walk miles and my back doesn't twinge, whereas before it was literally, even walking around the supermarket, my back was that bad. Rebecca's put jammy dodgers for the kids. You see, I don't have children. I don't have any children, so I don't have the problem with stuff like that. And I'm quite lucky in the respect that my partner will eat stuff, but he likes different things to me. Tends to like different stuff. And when I buy stuff for him, I'm very much in the mindset of, even if I do like it. I don't know if anyone saw my Harry Potter hat that I bought. I bought 2 of them. See if I can find it. It's over there. Don't know if anyone saw them, but I bought some Harry Potter chocolate hats from Marks and Spencer's, and bought one for me and one for my partner. It took him a week to eat his, and that was sat in my lounge on the coffee table for a week, and I didn't touch it because it wasn't mine. I've got mine, and I'm having mine for my birthday, but if it's his, and if it's somebody else, you need to get it in your mindset that it's not yours. And I know it's difficult, and if you're used to going, well, it's ours, whereas a lot of my treats are, they're mine. I'm an only child. Well, I was up until like my 20s, so I'd already left home at that point. So it's like, they're mine, and that's yours, so I'm not going to touch yours. I would have before, but in my mind, I sort of got to the point now where a lot of this, like, he'll like Jaffa cakes, can't stand them. He likes those ruffle things, can't stand them. He likes certain sweets that I don't like. So that's absolutely fine. I can buy those for him, and that's great. But then there's stuff that does cross over. But then I've just got that in my head now that that's his stuff, and I'm not going to touch it because it's his. So yeah, that has helped a lot. But when I was losing, I actually bought him stuff that I didn't like, because there's no way. And Turkish Delight wouldn't eat a Turkish Delight, so I buy him stuff that I wouldn't eat. So that's how I've gotten around that. Could you still eat the amount you ate before losing weight? Kaz has asked me that. No, I can't. I literally can't. Sometimes I'll have a day off plan, and I'll eat stuff that I want to eat, but I don't go mad. Then other days off plan, I will go absolutely mad. I'll go on I need to get as much food in as I possibly can. And I've got to the point, I was talking to someone from work the other week. It was her son's birthday, and she's lost about 4 stone on Slimming World, and she's put a little bit on over lockdown. So she's obviously, because we're sort of hopefully coming out of it, she's lost about, I think she says about 1 stone so far. But it was her son's birthday, and she got one of the Millie cookies, and she said that she'd had a little bit of cake, she'd had some brownies because she brought him some of those as well, and she said she had a Chinese, and she went, Sarah, I couldn't even eat it. She went, I had a little bit and I couldn't even eat it. And she said the next day I felt like I had a hangover. And she said she did have a glass of Prosecco, but she said I only had the 1 glass, so it wasn't alcohol that did it. I don't drink. I don't like alcohol. I'm a little bit strange in the fact that I don't like the taste of a lot of alcohol. The only thing that I kind of like is I like a Guinness occasionally, and I like a little bit of Disaronno, but it's like a tiny amount, because if I drink, because it's been like 2-3 years since I've had a drink, if I have a drink, I will absolutely I'll have to go to bed after an hour because I'll be that hammered. So literally, yeah, like she said, she had a hangover. I will stuff my face sometimes to the point where I've had to lie on the floor, and still I've tried to get more food in now, and it is nothing compared to what I used to eat. If you go to one of my previous videos, I've put what I ate before in a day and what I eat now. That was when I was sort of doing the flex. Um, and seriously, I couldn't eat half of what was on that table now. I literally can't. I will try, and I will still try and get food in. And literally, it makes me feel really ill. And I have to like, that's why when I have a day off now, I have to sort of go, stop. You need to stop. You don't need to get as much food in as you possibly can. That's still sometimes my mindset. I literally lose the plot and go, right, I need to get as much food in as I possibly can. It's like the day before you start your diet. But then I just do it when I'm having a day off plan. So no, there is no way I can eat the amount of food that I did before. Believe me, I've tried and it just doesn't work out like that. Emma's asked, how do you manage to keep at goal this long? I'm such an inspiration. Thank you very much. Back to the beginning again, and no matter how many times I've tried to get back on it, I've literally, like I said before, it's literally routine and habit. That's what brings me back all the time. So if now I have got a lot of chocolate in, I'll readily admit I've still got Christmas chocolate in. I've got a lot, and sometimes I'll go, do you know what? I'll eat, and then I'll go, no, what? When I go to have stuff, I mean, I'm going through a period where I want to buy orange chocolate and I want to buy white chocolate. And I know I've got it at home, but I'll still go and buy more. And then I'll go and pick it up. So I've still got 2 smart points left for the day today, and I've still got 24 weeklies left. So I could happily go and eat chocolate, but I will pick it up and go, do I really want to eat that? If a whole bag of eggs, I think the whole bag, I've got some of the Milky Way white chocolate eggs. I think the whole bag's like, is it about 28 points for something like that? I think it's around there, 22, 28, something like that. So I could happily go and eat that. But I just sit there and go, do I really want it? Am I craving that much that I need to eat it now? And sometimes I do want it and I will eat it. But sometimes I'll go, do you know what? Do I want that? Or can I have a chocolate bar for like 7, 8 points? Or shall I have a Mars bar for 11 points or 10 points, however much it is? It's about thinking about what I actually want rather than mindlessly going, right, I've pointed it, so I'm going to eat it. It's about thinking about, do I want it? Do I need it? Am I going to enjoy it? And how am I going to feel after I've eaten it? I've now got into the mindset of, if I have something that is off plan, I need to think about whether I've enjoyed it or not, so that next time I'll need to decide whether I'm going to eat that or not, because there's been times where I've eaten it and I've gone, that is a total waste of an off plan day, because I didn't enjoy it and I'd rather have had something else instead. So that's the way that I think about it. And I do. Sometimes it is a yes. I did enjoy it. And if I did enjoy it, that's brilliant. And I never feel guilty. Even if I didn't enjoy it, I don't feel guilty. I sort of think, oh, that was a waste. But I never feel guilty for going off plan. And we're all going to do it. But it's those routine and habits that pull you back in. And that's all you've got to do, is just go back to those routine and habits just to keep pulling you back. And it takes a while. I think somewhere it says it's 21 days or something to be in bed habits. No, it's not. It took me months to embed those habits, which is why when I first started, I didn't do what I usually did, which was on a weigh-in day, it was a free-for-all. So after weighing, I'd have a takeaway because it's weigh-in day. I don't do that now. I try to stick to my 30 points on weigh-in day, just so that I don't get that mindset and it doesn't trigger that mindset in me, because it's still there. I'll still get weighed and go, right, shall I go and get a takeaway? Oh, I could do it and not point it. But no, it's all calories and it all adds up. So I just don't do it. And it's about consistency. So that's what it is for me. It's about consistency. I will always use all of my weeklies because that's what they're there for. I can have my treats, like I had a fillet of fish the other day. It was tiny, I swear to God. I think they've made them smaller, but I did enjoy it. It was what I wanted and I did enjoy it. But that's what it's about. It's about having those foods that you want and you're craving, so it takes the edge off. So you've had it and you've enjoyed it, and it's even better when you point it. I enjoy food more when I feel like I've had a treat, but I'm in control and I've pointed it. Um, and I like the smug feeling I get from that. I'll readily admit I like the smug feeling when it comes to the end of the week and I've used all of my dailies, I've used all of my weeklies, I'm bang on target, and I love that smug feeling. It actually, I go, do you know what? I've had a good week, regardless of what the scales say, because they don't always do what I want them to. That's what I like. I like that feeling. So yeah, it's literally routine and habit, and it's about learning about yourself, and it does take an awful long time, but I think we're so used to mindlessly eating, which is why we put weight on in the first place. We eat foods and we don't tend to think about what we're doing. So it's about sitting there and thinking when you're eating, are you enjoying it? And if not, then don't have it again. Try something else. Find those foods that you enjoy, and that's what it is for me. That's what it's all about, and that's what the whole of my journey's been about. It's been about finding out about myself, about the reasons that I do the things that I do, the foods that I actually enjoy and the foods that I don't, so that I don't end up spending points on them when I don't need to, because then I feel, then it's again, you feel like it's a waste. So it's like, oh well, I'll have something else that I really like, and then you just adding more points or more calories and you end up going off plan. So yeah. um Hi, Hummingbird. So Rebecca's put 4 weeks at plateau despite my efforts. This weekend I've eaten what I want, then I feel guilty. Mentally difficult at the moment. Never feel guilty for a day off plan. Never. Enjoy your food. It's when you're having a day off, have a day off and enjoy it. Eat those foods that you really want. Hi, Tina. Have those foods that you really want, but learn about yourself. Learn if you like those, so that you, whether you have them again or not. So never ever feel guilty for a day off, because that leads to just that spiral of eating because you feel guilty. Then you try and get back on it, and then you do it again, and then you try and get back on it and you do it again. Never feel guilty for a day off. I acknowledge it. I'll go, yeah, I've eaten that. It's, yeah, that's done. Then the next day it's a totally different day. It's totally new and totally different day. So yeah, never feel guilty for a day off. It's gonna happen, and it's and I think it's about dealing with that. So, and plateaus are, sorry, I forgot about the plateau bit. Plateaus are horrendous. I plateaued for 3 months. Every time I stood on those scales, I was thinking, right, I'm going to have a McDonald's breakfast. Right, I'm going to have a McDonald's breakfast, and I'm not going to point it. And by the time I got to my car, I have to run through in my head. I run through a few things in my head. Is it going to make me feel any better? And the answer is no. I could point it, but then if I've got other plans, then I'm going to go over my points. So it's not going to make me feel any better in that moment. I hadn't planned it on that day, so I don't particularly necessarily fancy it, which is why when I have a weighing day, I will try to stick to my 30 points in a day, because it just gives me that little bit of control. So Fridays I might weighing on a Thursday, so Fridays I might go a little bit more. But yeah, that's what it's about for me. So the food scale. So someone's asked about the WW food scales. I have got some, but I don't use them. I can't. I find them quite difficult to use. Not in the respect that the pointing bit, although mine are calibrated for flex, I think, which is the blue plan. So they're not calibrated for the green plan anyway. But where I weigh everything. I think everybody knows that I literally weigh everything. And my problem is that if I weigh stuff like sweetener, no, I'll just take sweetener, flour. So if I weigh flour, I was putting like, I find that if I use the WW scales, I'll put flour on, and then they won't move for ages, and then they'll suddenly jump to like 20-30 grams. Then I'll take it off and nothing does it for ages, and then all of a sudden they'll drop to like 10 and I want 20. and it was really winding me up, so I can't use them. I find that they're not. I've got some cheap ones from Amazon that I've had since the beginning of my journey, and literally I'll put it on and it'll tell me 20 grams and it's fine. Whereas the WW ones, I end up putting loads on and then taking loads off, and it takes me about 10 minutes to try and get the exact weight that I want. So yeah, they're brilliant for telling you the points in stuff, but when I'm weighing stuff that's like gravy granules, things like that, I want 5 grams of gravy granules, so I'll end up putting it on and it'll go to 10 grams. Then I'll end up having to take it off and it will drop down to like 2. I just find them really fiddly. So yeah, I have got them, but I don't use them. So the syrups and the creamers in my coffee. Sorry, I'm going back to my coffee thing. If you want to know about my milks, I spoke about my different milks that I use at the beginning of this video, because quite a few people have asked about because I do like my lattes, I like my coconut, I like my oat, and I like my almond milk. When it comes to sugar-free coffee syrups, I don't have them in my drinks. I use them in my stewed plums and my stewed fruit. I'll use them in baked oats occasionally if I have them. So yeah, when it comes to things like that, I not a huge fan of the syrups because I don't like milky drinks. So 1 second. So yeah. Oh, hang on, lost my questions. So yeah, when it comes to the those, I'm not a huge fan, like I said, of the syrup. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. Lost my questions. Hang on. Yeah, so, and the creamers, I do like the creamers. I've only tried the vanilla one so far. I'm going to have a try of that. I think they've got a normal plain kind of one, so I'm going to try that one. The vanilla one's nice in the mochas that I've had at the moment. Creamer wise, they've got a caramel one, but I don't like stuff too sweet, so the vanilla one's fine. The syrups I don't have in my coffee because don't take sugar in my tea or my coffee. So I don't like stuff that's too sweet. I find the almond milk is just sweet enough for me. So, have I ever felt like giving up when having a weight gain? Yeah, I've thrown a paddy on the scales before. I've stood on them, put like £5 on and gone, right, that's it. But then it's not going to make anything any different. So if I give up, I'm only going to put my weight back on. Giving up is not an option for me at this point. Regardless of what those scales say, this is a lifestyle change. This is the way I eat now. Literally, this is the way I eat. So there is no giving up as an option. I quite like the way I eat. I feel better. Like I was saying about my friend having the hangover, if I have a daft plan, I feel like that. I don't drink and I feel like I'm hungover. That's why literally I can only do sort of 2 days, 3 days max off plan because I feel really poorly. I end up feeling really sick. I feel lethargic, I feel really dehydrated, my head feels funny, my jaw hurts weirdly, I think it's from all the eating I do, the back of my head really hurts. I must have felt like that all of the time, but because I felt like that all of the time, that was my normal, and it's not. I don't like that feeling. It makes me feel really poorly. So, yep. Emma's asked how bendy I am now. When gym's open, will you go back and stick with your online yoga? I'm not here. I'm a lot more flexible than I was. I can put when I'm in downward facing dog, I put a picture on Instagram earlier. When I first started, my heels were up in downward facing dog, and now I can put I can put my feet on the floor. So I might stretch my tendons out. I can. Weirdly, I'll get more flexible as the day goes on, but because I tend to do morning yoga, I'm not hugely flexible first thing in the morning. But if I do sort of an afternoon session as an extra one, I am quite bendy. It's really strange. When the gym's open, I do miss swimming. I was thinking about this the other day. I do quite miss swimming. and I had to walk on Monday. I had to walk quite a lot, and I was really tired. And I WhatsApped my partner and went, oh, I'm so tired. I've literally walked for like half an hour and I'm really tired. And he went, you used to go for a run and then go for a swim. I've done that a few times. I don't run now. Realised I'm not a huge fan of running. Really not. I build myself up to do it, and then when I'm doing it, I'm going, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. And then when I've done it, I go, yay, I've done a run. But it's not worth all of that. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this for like a 5 minutes of yay, I've done a run. So I don't run anymore. But I was thinking, do you know what? My stamina's gone down, but then that's lockdown as well. So I can do yoga and I do the various different ones, but I was umming and ahhing about it. I might give them a ring and see how much they're going to charge me. But it is the thing with yoga is I don't have to leave the house. I literally come downstairs, whack my yoga gear on, and it's done. I do half an hour, and then the day's mine. Whereas if I go for a swim, I have to get everything ready. Then I have to go. Then I have to dry myself, and it's freezing cold in the changing room. And yeah, so it's one of those. It's whether it's worth it when I can just do daily yoga, and I do really enjoy my yoga. So it's one of those. It depends how I feel on the day that I give them a ring and how much they're going to charge me. So Marin's asked, when not in lockdown, do you go home and cook your lunch? I actually do better on WW when we're in lockdown. We're still in lockdown in the UK, and I tend to work from home. I was sort of tending to work from home before anyway. I work for the NHS, so I go into care homes. So I literally go and do my visits and then come home and do my notes. So because I don't tend to eat breakfast, that's not an issue. When I come home, I will then have lunch, whether it's like 1, 2 o'clock, and then I'll do my notes. So I tend to come home for my dinner anyway. So that makes a huge difference because I'm not out and about and I don't have to prepare anything either. So I end up buying loads of lunch boxes. I've got a thing for lunch boxes, and then I have to think, well, I don't actually eat outside of the house. So I'm buying lunch boxes for no reason. One of my many things that I like to buy for absolutely no reason at all. So yeah, but even before lockdown, I was doing the same thing. I'd go for my meetings and stuff, then go on visits, and then come home for lunch. So I do sort of come home for food. Thank you. I think my hair looks thicker. My partner said my hair looks thicker. He said you can't see your scalp through your head anymore. So lovely. Am I going to keep my hair long or short after lockdown? See, I was debating this earlier. I don't know whether to, because I've had thin hair for a while, and I would go like 2 years without a haircut because I didn't want to sit in the chair in case I didn't fit. That's how bad it is. When you're that big, every little thing I would worry about. Then I found a hairdresser that's really, really good, and she charges me like 20 quid. But then again, it does take like 20 minutes to cut my hair, so it's fine. And I can't colour it because I have allergies. So I'm in an hour and about whether should I get a good cut, because if I get a good cut, it does make my hair look a bit thicker. So I'm still in a debate with myself about whether to have it short again or just have a trim. I'll see what she says when I finally book an appointment. Yeah, it is the vitamin that I take is that ginkgo, whatever it is, I can't say it. It's on there. Rebecca's put it on for you. Julie's lost 2.5 stone and struggling now since Christmas. Christmas is a killer for me. I've actually had Christmases on plan and I've had Christmases off, and I find my gains from Christmas tend to be quite big, weirdly. I don't know if it's because when I've had like a mad Christmas, I can put sort of half a stone on, and then I don't know if it's because of the cold weather or what. I just find it really difficult to lose in February time. I find it really difficult. So, but yeah, it is literally, habits and routines bring me back. I find it difficult to lose over those couple of months. I don't know if it's the cold weather, what it is, but I do find it really difficult. But then I know that it will come off in the end. I just need to keep going, and that's all that keeps going in the back of my mind. It will come off. It will come off. It has to, because I'm following the plan, and it does work, and I know the plan works for me because it's worked, because I've lost the weight. So yeah, that's what keeps going through my mind. Someone loves pastries, cakes and sweets, but they want your points out. Have I come across any tips that would be helpful for cravings for these types of foods? It's another thing, I thought I really like pastries, and I do like a bit of a croissant, but apart from that, I would never. I've stood in like Greg's and looked at the pastries, and I've stood in Costa and looked at the pastries and stuff. And yeah, as far as that's concerned, I really wouldn't. It's not something that I would go for. I used to. Trust me, I would go mad for. I would go to Greg's and I would get the sausage, the bacon and cheese wrap things, you know, the pastry things. I'd eat 2 of those. I would happily eat 2 of those. And croissants, and I'd get a biscuit, and I'd get I'd get pasties. But it's not actually the things that I like. Cakes and sweets I do like, but then I have to stand there and go, do I really want that? Do I want that cake? Am I going to enjoy it? If it's a yes, I will happily point it. That's what my weeklies are for. But I will sort of look at different ones and see which is lower pointed rather than higher. Mug cakes are brilliant, because if you do have a sweet tooth, mug cakes are really good, because you can do one for like, depends what plan you're on. If you're on green, you can do one for about 4 or 5 points at a push. It's about having those foods that you like, basically. I find those fit bakes quite good, because they're only 4 or 5 points for a pack, and I find them they're sweet enough for me. But then I think I'm used to lower sugar stuff, because I had that Pure Heavenly chocolate yesterday, and someone said they'd ordered it and they knew they could tell the difference. I just think it tastes like posh chocolate to me. It does actually taste like chocolate. But then I think it's because I don't have, like I said before, I don't have sugar and stuff in my tea, and I think I'm used to less sweet stuff than I used to be. Before, I would happily eat sweets, cakes, chocolate, but I think because over my time that I've done it, and I think when I did Slimming World, I cut all of that out, which made a huge difference. I now know that I don't need those foods. I can have them if I want them, and I will happily eat a slice of cake if I want it. I will have it, but it's not. I don't need to eat it. That's what the difference is. Yeah, Emma stopped her husband going for a pork pie salad for his tea. That's good. Have I ever cut sugar out of my diet? No, I haven't. Not on purpose. I tend to go low sugar, but that's because it tends to have higher points in it. But then I will have a Mars bar if I want a Mars bar. I will have some chocolate fingers if I want them. I will have what I fancy. But I've never purposefully gone out and cut sugar out of my diet. It's not something that I do. If I want to eat something, I will eat it and I will point it. That's what I do. Then that's the beauty of the WW plan. If I want it, I can eat it. Just means that it might wipe my points out a little bit, but then I know that I can have a salad for 2 points, 3 points at a push. I can have 0 pointed soup. There is stuff that I could have if absolutely necessary. If I really needed a cake, or I really needed a pastry, or I really needed something, and it was playing on my mind, and I only had 30 points for that day, I might use like 20 points on it, and then go really low pointed for the rest of the day. I'd have chicken and salad, or have chicken and a load of veg, or I'd have butternut squash soup. There are low pointed stuff that I can go for if I absolutely have to. And if I've had the cake and I've enjoyed it, then that's fine, because I've had it and it hasn't like totally knocked me off my game, if you get what I mean. That's the beauty of WW. If I do have it and it does happen, there is something that I can do about it. I can pull it back if I really need to. So yeah, I haven't purposefully cut out sugar. What are my thoughts on paying for the app as a gold member? I reached gold last year and somewhat. I begrudge paying. I think I pay. Is it about £7? £6.95 for the app, and that's literally all we're paying for is the app. Because if we don't have the app, I know people that don't have the app and still go and get weighed in class as a gold member, because you can. You get your weigh in for free, but you're paying, I think, £7 for the app. Yeah, I do. That's why I tried calorie counting for a day about a month and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer. I thought, right, I don't want to pay £7 for the rest of my life for WW. But there is an app out there that you can use that's free. It's the iTrax Bites app, which is free to use, but the problem is it's an American app, and it's we can put stuff in the calculator and stuff, so you can work it out, but it is a pain. And I have looked at it and I have pointed for a day on it, and it is exactly the same. And in fact, it's got all the plans on. It's even got the Pro Points plan on. So if you've got a thing, your thing was Pro Points, it's even got that on it. So there are alternatives out there, but then it is a pain. But there's so many features on the WW app now that I really don't use. I literally just use the pointing bit, and I will put my sleep in, but I lie just to get my points, just to get my wellness wins. I'll put that I have 9 hours of sleep every night, and I don't. I know that in the US you don't have to pay. Once you get to lifetime membership, you don't have to pay in the US, and I thought that was the reason that they were bringing everything into line across the world. But we have to pay. We have to pay for the app to use the app, which I don't think is fair if the US aren't. I know quite a few people on Instagram that are lifetime members and they don't have to pay. It's just a UK thing. I don't know if other countries do it. I know I do have some people from Australia around and stuff, so yeah, do begrudge paying it. You can join WW if you're breastfeeding. It gives you extra points, I think. When you join in, I think it asks you loads of questions, and it gives you quite a few extra points from what people have said before. I don't know how many, but you can join while you're breastfeeding, yeah. Thank you. My hair looks thicker, Kaz. James asked how old I am. I am 42 in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks today, I'm 42. Marie's lost 10 stone and put a couple back on track now. Brilliant. That is fantastic. Fantastic weight loss. I think lockdown did knock it did knock us all off a little bit off our game, but we can only do what we can do, and you're back on track now, which is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Rebecca's an only child too. I'm so selfish. I'm like, that's mine. I am getting better though. I did have a KFC the other week, and I ordered the same thing for me and my partner. I ordered a fillet tower burger meal, and I did pay for a fillet tower burger meal and a fillet burger meal. And he went to have the fillet burger meal and leave me the big one, and I just went, no, it's all right. It saves me points. So I am getting better. I'm less selfish than I was when I was a child. And I lived on my own with my mum and dad, and it was like, that's mine. That's mine. Maria's asked, what do I plan to eat for my birthday? You're making a list, are you? For my birthday, I have got an orange Toblerone that I really need to eat, and I might end up eating it, or I might end up eating some of the other stuff that I've got, because I've got me sorting hat to eat as well. Then again, that's got a really good date on it, so I could save that for a few months. And what else am I eating? Oh, I'm having a burger. Strip Club Street Food on Instagram. I actually messaged them the other day because when I knew we were still going to be in lockdown for my birthday, I was quite depressed about it because it'd been my second birthday in lockdown. And I actually messaged them. They put a message on my post, one of my posts, saying something, a comment, and I actually messaged them back and went, "Are you open anywhere in Birmingham on Easter Sunday?" And they got back to me and went, "Yeah, we are open in Solihull. We are in Harborne, I think, and they're also in Moseley." I was like, "Right, I'll see you in Solihull." So they are open on Easter Sunday. They do a bacon Biscoff burger, and I had one before and it was amazing. It's so good. So I'm having that with some fries. That's going to be my main meal, hopefully, unless I find something nicer, which I don't think I will because that is pretty amazing. And I will eat some chocolate and some sweets. I'm not buying any Easter eggs because I've already got loads of chocolate. I don't know about anyone else, but going into those supermarkets and some of those deals on Easter eggs at the moment are blooming, oh God. I'm like, oh God. I think Asda are doing like 4 Easter eggs for a tenner or something. They were doing 3 for a tenner and now they're doing 4 for a tenner, which is even worse. So yeah, it's difficult. Easter eggs are difficult at the moment. But yeah, that's my plan. It's a bacon Biscoff burger. It is pretty amazing. If you go, like I said, if you go on Instagram, I'm sure they're on Facebook as well, and just have a look for Strip Club Street Food. They do some pretty nice stuff. I think they've got like halloumi bites or like mac and cheese bites or something. I've had a look. I haven't fully decided what I'm having yet. Oh, thank you very much, Jane. She got up at 4:30. She's in Australia. Good morning. Lorraine works in a supermarket, has got bad habits, but every time I finish a shift, I buy a chocolate bar or a share bag. Thankfully, it's twice a week, but it's becoming addictive. It's just literally, you just got to go no and walk out. That's the only thing you can do. And once you've done it once, it's just about going no, 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 no as you're walking out the shop. And it's literally all you can do because it's about breaking. For me, it's all about breaking those habits and breaking those connections. And it's the only thing you can do is just to try and break those connections. And it's not easy. And sometimes you're going to do it, but it's those my habits and everyone's habits are so deeply ingrained, and literally we've just got to go no. It's the only thing that's going to work is just going no, I'm not doing it. And it's not easy, but just keep trying. That's the only thing that we can do is keep trying, because once you don't do it a few times, you'll forget that you did it, hopefully. Sorry, needed a drink. So Tina has done this since the last Q&A, 10 weeklies on weighing day and made Cornish pasties. Oh, yummy. Rolled back 4 a day since, and you've still got 24 weeklies. Spend them wisely. Enjoy them. That's what they are there for. Do love my weeklies. Hello, Christine. Helen asks how I manage holidays away. Do I track? I tend to. We haven't been away. We tend to like have the odd day, and I will tend to track if I can. We tend to go for like a night or something. So I will sort of save my weeklies and track as much as I can, unless I go, do you know what? I'm not doing it. It really does depend. A lot of what I do depends on what my scales say on before an event. So, if I'm above my goal weight, it tends to make me go, do you know what? I'm going to stick to it, because it's just going to make me go even more above my goal weight. and I don't always want to do that. So with me, if there's an event coming up or we're going away or anything like that, it is literally, what do my scales say? Where's my head at? If I want a day off and we're doing something specific and we've got a few things planned, then I will just have it off plan. If not, I will plan as much as I can and I'll track as much as I can. That's all we can do. It depends where you're going and whether you want what you want to do, because you can just get back on it when you get back. I know somebody that has lost an awful lot of weight, and they went away on a holiday and I think they put on about 17 pounds, but a lot of that is water weight because of the flight and because of the food that you're eating, and it's hot. So you just get back on it and lose it again. It's not easy, and it's going to happen. Yeah, the biscotti burger is absolutely amazing. I was umming and ahhing about whether to try it because of like the sweet and savoury, but it is absolutely amazing. I keep messaging them and going, there's not enough cheese on that burger. Can you put more cheese? When they're putting new ones on at the moment, I keep going, you need extra cheese on that. So yeah, when you go away, it's about assessing on what you want to do. So it is literally, it's what you want at that point. So if you want a day off, if you want the holiday off, have it off, enjoy it, and just get back on it when you get back. It's entirely up to you. So Myra lives in the US. Husband likes to go to restaurants. Try and make the best possible choices that I can. I try to look at the menus ahead of time. Any other suggestions about eating out? I do exactly what you do. I will look at the menu ahead of time. I'm assuming that US restaurants are pretty good and they will sort of cater to you. So if you want sauces on the side, that's what I tend to do. So I'll go somewhere and go, can I have no butter on my bread? If I'm having something like that, can I have my sauce on the side? Can I have this? Can I substitute this for this? Most restaurants are pretty good in the UK, and I'm assuming that in the US it's pretty much the same. So it's about doing what you do. I go online and I look at menus and I go, right, what am I going to choose? What am I going to have? What do I fancy? And that's pretty much what I do. I take my own sauces as well. I'll take my own lower calorie sauces. I'll take my own lighter than light mayonnaise. I'll take my own dressings. I'll take my own ketchup. If I'm going out for breakfast, I'll take my own jam. And I've weighed it and I've measured it and I've portioned it. And no one ever says anything. I've taken it somewhere before, and people that I've gone with, like if I've gone with work, people have gone, and I've gone, no. Just if anyone says anything, I'll just say I've got some allergies. No one ever says anything. They don't care. No one cares. A lot of it is our own interpretation of what people think, and I've got to the point now where I'm going, I ain't spending my points on like 4 or 5 points on your mayonnaise. I'm going to bring me home for 1 point, because then I can have something else nicer later. So yeah, I have no shame anymore. I don't know what MMS is. I've blocked him. Christine's asked if I go for a tummy tuck. I need more than a tummy tuck. I need a body lift, basically, is the only thing that's going to work for me. I've looked, and there's a man in the States. There is a surgeon in the States that does something called a corset body lift. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. He is on Instagram. He's the only person that does a corset body lift. You don't need any drains. And basically what he does is he cuts straight down both sides and basically pulls it round like a corset, which is what I need because I've got skin on my back as well. And he's amazing. The results that he gets are absolutely amazing. However, the slight problem with that is I think it's around 40 grand for what I want. I'm going to need arms, I'm going to need legs, I'm going to need corset, body lift, and I'm going to need implants because I just have nothing. So I think somebody I follow on Instagram had a consultation, and I think it's around 40 grand. So unless I win the lottery, it ain't happening, unfortunately, but I would happily go and have that done. I would go over there for a good few weeks. I can't remember exactly where he is. I have Googled it and I have looked, but yeah, he is absolutely amazing. If you Google corset body lift, his results are absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, it would literally deal with all of the bits that I've got a problem with. Body lift drains. Would you do the whole procedural part? Apparently, he won't do the whole procedure at once. He won't do everything that I need doing. He won't do at once because it's just too traumatic. I think it's about 6 to 8 hours for the corset body lift. From what I can gather, he will at a push do your body lift in your legs at the same time, but then you have to then go and come back. And I think he can do it reasonably quickly. I think he's not. I think he's up north somewhere. I don't think he's in Florida. I think he's in Pennsylvania. He's in Pennsylvania. If you Google corset body lift, he's literally the only man that does it. And he's amazing. His result. Be prepared for a little bit of Texas Chainsaw Massacre like stuff, because I've looked before and gone, I can't look in the morning. I can't do that in the morning. I don't mind blood and gore, but seriously, he stood there before with like, because of the way that he does the procedure, he cuts like down here. He literally holds someone's stomach up like that. I think he did one the other day and it was phenomenal. The woman had lost a load of weight and he'd done a corset body lift on her, I think, and he took £21 worth of skin. It's just what he does is absolutely amazing. I can look at his results all day, and there's somebody else that does. He doesn't do that. He does like other procedures. He does other sculpting, and it is amazing. So what they can do now is phenomenal, and obviously over in the States they are used to doing that an awful lot. I have looked over in the UK, but specifically his results they're exactly what I want. I would be literally fine. I was doing my yoga this morning and I have got some pictures and I've been umming and ahhing about whether to put them on Instagram or not, because they are particularly, basically when I bend over, that's when you see how bad my skin is. I think I'd probably be around a size 8 to 10 down. My bottom half is around a 12, but it's literally skin. That is the problem. So, and I was umming and ahhing about whether to put them on or not. They are quite... I have put my skin pictures up before, but just not when I'm bent over, so you can actually see. I think my stomach hangs down about that much when I'm bent over. So I'm still in and ahhing about whether to post them or not. Yeah, so what's my plans around this loose skin? I would have procedures done, but it is so much money that it's just totally out of my price range. There's just no way I can do it unless I win the lottery. So fingers crossed. Yeah, Maria, phobia about chairs in general, even losing weight, I still worry about going. It's even I used to turn up to meetings early because I was worried that I wouldn't fit in the chairs, and I used to have to go and get like the chairs without the arms in because I wouldn't get in them. My phobias were huge. So and it's strange how after a while you just stop thinking about that until you've actually sat there in a chair with arms and going, I wouldn't have sat in this before. Me and my partner, when lockdown sort of eased up last September time, we went for our anniversary meal. And there's a place called Medicine in Birmingham, and they do really nice cakes, and it's absolutely beautiful. And we went for brunch, and their toilet is up like little tiny stairs. So I went to the loo and I thought, oh my God, and literally it's tiny. You go up the stairs and it's so tiny. I went to the loo and then sat back down, and my partner went, and he came back and he went, you wouldn't have got up. You would literally not have got up those stairs before because they were so small. And I went, I know. It is absolutely, I was like, oh God, yeah, I wouldn't have got up those stairs. Kathy says I introduced her to butternut squash. Got it in the oven now. I can't even peel it now. I'm so lazy when it comes to cooking. I see all of these people post lovely meals on Instagram, and they put like chocolate in porridge, and I go, I wouldn't put chocolate in porridge because I want to eat my chocolate. Don't understand that. I get that it looks and it's going to melt and stuff, but I just think, oh God, what a waste of points when I can sit there and eat a bar of chocolate. I'm so terrible. And with cooking, I'm terrible. I see like these lovely creations that people have spent hours on, and I'm like, I'm just going to whack my dinner in the oven. Mine is, if I can whack it in the oven and walk away, that's literally my dream meal for me. Whack it in, walk away. If it don't look pretty, I don't care. I'm just going to stuff it in my face. So yeah. The birthday cake fibre ones are my favourite at the moment. Only small but lovely. I haven't tried the birthday cake ones. I don't really like sprinkly stuff on there. I've seen them and they look really nice, and then I just think no, because I'm not a fan of sprinkles. Probably just me. Marilyn is the lifetime membership thing. £7 on the app as a gold member, and only track my food. I rarely use any of the features. Yeah, literally, you get lifetime membership in the US, and the UK. I literally don't use any of the other features. So it is, to me, it's just tracking food. I'll occasionally use Connect, but it is literally, for me, is tracking food. Kaz is doing NutriCheck. I'm sure that's the app that I tried. It's easy to use. It's £24 for the year. I tried NutriCheck, but I can't calorie count. It's too confusing for me. I like my zero pointed foods to be zero pointed, so I don't have to put them in the app. Deanna's put, decided today she's happy to maintain December to April, work on weight loss of £1 to £2 May to November, enjoy Christmas and Easter. Don't blame you. It's what works for us, and it's about finding what works for you, and that's what's important with weight loss. It's literally about finding what works for you and what's best for you. Ultimate Food Value app, according to Pauline, is a free app which counts the points the same and has the tracker, but it's the older version. $3.99 a month if you want green, blue, and purple. So there are apps out there. I know that there is. There are a couple of apps. Joanne found that her hair lost 5 stone. That's absolutely brilliant, fantastic. And your hair got thin and snapping. Excessive Diet Coke. My hair's been thin for years and years and years. I've tried literally everything, so I'm just glad that it's a little bit thicker now. Not sure if it is the hot chocolate that I'm having or if it's just getting a little bit thicker. Berry's got a 2 stone milestone last Sunday, first time since 2018. I've been this way, still got 6. Brilliant. 2 stone is absolutely fantastic. Well done. Lorraine looked up Strip Club Street Foods Biscotti Bacon Burger. Told you it looks amazing, and it does taste absolutely amazing. Yeah, 21 days to break a habit is a joke. It's taken me since 2018. I was eating food I didn't like, but I thought I did. Yeah, I use not worth the calories nicked from the mouth of the lovely Prue Leith. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's literally... It took me a long time to find out what foods I actually liked and which ones I didn't, and which ones I were just stuffing in because I thought I liked them. It is a revelation when you actually sit there and go, you have to sit there and go, would I spend points on that? Literally, would I spend points on that? And a lot of the time, it's a no from me for a lot of the foods that I've eaten before. And I've gone, what am I eating this for? I don't really like it. Minstrels. Minstrels is a good one. Like the chocolate in the minstrels, which is why Revels, the flat chocolate ones, love those, but I'm not a huge fan of minstrels because I don't like the outside. So I'll end up eating them and going, I'm not a huge fan. But then I'd eat them, I'd like buy a multi-pack and eat like 3 or 4 packets of them before. It's just literally, it's habit, and my habit was eating. And it takes a while for you to break that. Lacey's asked, do I find that my days revolve? My days always revolve around food. Me and my partner are very different. He doesn't. He thinks it's very. I think it's very strange that he never thinks about what he wants to eat, and I just think about food all the time. What am I going to have? When I wake up, my first thought, I don't plan my meals because I don't like planning my meals because I never know what I'm going to fancy. If I've got something in the fridge that I need to use up, I'll probably use that up. If not, I can go like all morning and go, what am I going to have? What do I fancy? What do I fancy? What do I fancy? My whole life does revolve around food still. It's just rather than the naughty foods that I used to eat, it now revolves around what do I fancy and what can I eat, if that makes any sense. So... Joanne had the weekend off for Mother's Day, paid the price by gaining half a stone, been really strict since Monday and I've lost it. Quickly on, quickly off. It can work like that. That is brilliant. I'm glad you enjoyed your Mother's Day. And sometimes it works like that with me. I'll gain like £7 and then it'll come off really quickly. And other times I can gain like £7 and I gained £6 absolutely weeks and weeks ago and it just wouldn't come off. It's following it and it just won't come off. But then that depends what's going on with my body. And I think a lot of it is what's going on with my body, and that's the problem. So, body lift drains, would you do the whole procedure, or parts? I've answered that one. Yeah, I don't think he will actually do the whole procedure more than anything. If you're looking at that, I think it's just too traumatic on your body. There's no way he could do the whole thing. So, yeah. When it comes to shapewear, so someone's asked about what I wear. The way that my skin is, as I was losing weight, as you lose weight, it's different as you lose, and it's going to be different from everyone. Hello from California. Hello, Laura. Yeah, it's Laura. Hello. With me, Primark is brilliant when it opens. So Primark for shapewear is absolutely excellent, and it's cheap, which is great. They do leggings, which are amazing, although you do have to struggle to get them on. Bit of a fight, but once they're on, they look fantastic. I've had comments from the leggings because they're nice and shiny as well. So the leggings are amazing. When it comes to their knickers and stuff, I don't wear shapewear knickers anymore because the way that my skin is, at the moment, I'm carrying about £8-9 extra than I normally do. I want to get down to 12 stone. So that's about a stone difference to what I am now. But normally my body's around £8 less than it is now. And when I'm that kind of weight, my stomach is empty. It's literally deflated. Fully deflated is what the surgeons call it when I have absolutely nothing. It's just skin. So when I put knickers on, it tends to lift my stomach up and then just makes me look pregnant. So it actually makes it look worse. So as I was losing weight, the knickers were great because they stopped. When I had fat in my stomach, it sort of distributed it better. But now that it's totally deflated, I found that the vests are better. So I get the shapewear vest from Primark, and they sort of pull me down. So because it's deflated, it just flattens it all down. So that's why I wear the vests. But it is literally trial and error. So there are loads of different shapewears out there. Primark do absolutely loads. So it's literally just like trying to find the one that suits your body type at that point. Yeah, so for me, the leggings are fine. Because I tend to go for, when I'm wearing leggings, it tends to be because I've got a dress on. So the dresses that I choose tend to like fit to sort of just under my boobs and then flare out anyway. So that doesn't matter. But when I wear tops like that I've got on now, I like stripy tops, I like form-fitting tops, I'll wear the vests because it just gives me a better silhouette. because I've got nothing in there and it is literally just the skin that's lumps and bumps. I've got it under my arms, I've got it, the vest just sort of gives me a better shape and it gives me a better silhouette. So that's what I choose now. But as I was losing, I've got literally loads of different types. So I've got the short ones, I've got the knicker ones, and knicker wise, I just wear the Primark trouser knickers. They're just brilliant. They're just really good. I find that they're more than enough for what I need. Vests are similar to like a long sleeve tank top. Have I got one around? Basically, it's 2 straps and just the vest. So yeah, it's like a tank top but without the sleeves. So it's just got the 2 straps. So that's what the vest is. So yeah, I find that helps an awful lot. Oh, I think my partner's going to come and get me a vest. How nice is he? Yeah, he can come and get me a vest.
A vest?
Yeah. I think my shapewear vests are in there.
You what, sorry?
Shapewear vests.
In this?
No, in the basket. Have I got another? That one in your hand. That's it. Chuck it over it. It's making sure my knickers are in my vest. Hang on. So that's what I wear at the moment. So, and when I was losing, it was the knickers more than anything. Yeah, so that's what I wear at the moment because it just gives me a better shape, and because I've got, even at the moment I've got a little bit of fat in my stomach, but not a huge amount. But when I lose it, it just gives me that better shape. So that's why I choose those at the moment, because like I said, if I wear the shorts or the knickers, it tends to pull my stomach up and just give me a belly. Yeah, slinky tops, call them slinky tops. But yeah, these are, I think these are like, I think they're only like £3 or £4 at Primark. Might be a little bit more, but they are absolutely brilliant. For what I need them for, I find them absolutely brilliant. I think you've got Primark in the US now, haven't you? Go and have a look. Someone's asked if is my skin contracted. It literally hasn't. I've had people say, oh, try ultrasound. Literally, if I do post the pictures that I've got from this morning on Instagram, it's literally my stomach hangs like that. No amount of ultrasound, nothing is going to help, because obviously I've lost a huge amount of weight. It's just not helping at all. I know my friend has lost quite a lot and hers has gone in a little bit, and I think mine probably has, but because I've got so much, it's just not going to contract, unfortunately. If I post the pictures of surgeon, I've posted my pictures. There are so many people that lost a huge amount of weight. Yeah, people aren't going to pay to have it done. I need to win the lottery. That's what I need. Oh, someone wants to know what the cake shop is. It's Medicine, and it is in the centre of Birmingham. I think they've got one at the mailbox as well. I'm not entirely sure. Try mailbox. If you, it's on Instagram as well. So if you go on Instagram and put in Medicine Bakery, it's in the centre of Birmingham. They are amazing. I had, when I went for my anniversary, I had some French brioche toast with bacon and maple syrup. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was so good. Slow cooker is the greatest invention. Yep. How do I feel about overweight people when I see them? It's total. I totally understand. I still don't see myself as a skinny person, and I don't think I ever will. I still see myself at least 3 stone heavier than I am. It's only when I see myself in the mirror. I have one mirror in my house, and that is in my bedroom, and that's just to see what I look like when I put my vests and stuff on. So I don't tend to look at myself in the house. So when I look down, I see my stomach. My skin makes me look a lot bigger than I am from my point of view. So I still see myself as like 3 or 4 stone bigger than I actually am in my head. And it's only when I can walk in past a mirror or I get in the car and put my seatbelt on that I think, hang on a minute, I'm not. I went to a care home the other day and got in the lift and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, that's me. I still do that all the time. I do it constantly. I still go past a window and go, oh my God, that's me, because it still hasn't registered in my head, even after 3 years, that I'm not heavier than I am. Yeah, it still hasn't really registered. Do I like having the control now over my life? Now I'm eating better. The whole thing about eating, for me, it's about the control is what keeps me on track as well. I like being in control of what I eat, and that's what keeps me on track. I'm very, very focused when it comes to stuff like that, and I've said it before, I see the tracking and the pointing and the getting the most out of my points as a bit of a game, and I quite like it. I like to see what I can get away with points wise and what I can do. So yeah, I do love the control, and that's the bit that I like, and it's the not being in control that I don't like. So when someone was saying about restaurants and stuff, yeah, it is. It's things like going to restaurants that I don't know, which is why I go on and I look at the menu and I like to pick and choose before I go, because I like control. Lacey's asked, has my appetite changed over time? Hugely. But then again, I sometimes sit there and I think, I used to eat even when I wasn't hungry. I used to eat because I just did. And now it's about thinking about whether I'm hungry or not. Makes a huge difference. So am I hungry and do I want to eat? Whereas before I would just eat because I could. Now it's about, I don't think it's even about my appetite. It's am I actually hungry? And I used to eat when I wasn't. So yeah, I don't think my appetite's particularly changed. I just think now I think more about whether I'm hungry before I eat rather than just eating because it's there and I think I've got to eat it. Yeah, Marie's put about the Easter eggs. Oh, I don't know what it is at the moment, but I mean, Tesco's have got brilliant offers on Easter eggs. Krispy Kreme, don't even start on the new Krispy Kremes ones. They look amazing. The Easter egg, the Easter flavoured Krispy Kremes, don't look. Yeah, he's lovely, my partner is. He's very good. Love the English words. I have thought about crowdfunding before, but I'm not sure. I just think it's really cheeky. I personally think it's really cheeky to ask people for money for surgery. I really do. And I sit there and go, shall I, could I do it? And I know people have said, oh, I'll do it. And I've just thought, I just think that's really cheeky. I just think, because it's cheeky mare asking me for money. Yeah, so I have thought about it. So do I ever fear going off plan and not getting back on? I haven't had a day without counting. Even if I go over, I count because if I have a day off plan, I do not count. I do not count it at all because it's a day off for me. Once I get past a certain point, there is no point. I'm not going into the hundreds and minus points because I just don't like that. So, but yeah, if I have a day off, I don't point and then I just get back on it the next day. It's a brand new day. I've got videos of what I do when I go off plan. If it's sort of midweek, I will stick to 30 points a day, but I'll give myself some weeklies just to jiggle it around a little bit, just in case I need them. So, yeah, if I go off plan, I did initially worry because I stuck to it for like a year and a half, 2 years without going off plan. I really did worry. And I'd had like a major panic going, oh my God, if I go off, will I just totally lose control? Will that be it? And actually, it's not the end of the world. Having a day off plan isn't the end of the world, and that's what I've learned now. I can have a day off, I can enjoy it, and then I'll just get back on it, because I don't like the feeling of not being on it. I feel really poorly, so I just don't like it. So yeah, I was like, I think we make it out to be worse than it is, and that's where the guilt kicks in. But it's like, hang on a minute, normal people have days where they eat more food, so why shouldn't we enjoy our food and enjoy a day off, and enjoy it like everybody else does? Just because we've had a weight problem doesn't mean that we can't relax and then just get back on it again. That's the way I think about it now, whereas before I would have gone, oh, that's it, I've had a day off and I've eaten loads and that's it, it's gone. But yeah, so hang on, I've missed one. Has my relationship with my partner changed now I've lost the weight? Actually, no, it's not. I do keep going, what's it like having a skinny girlfriend? And he goes, I don't know, she's not here. I'll ask. He's yeah. So yeah, but yeah, no, my partner, we're exactly the same as we were before. We just do a little bit more than we did before. We get out and about a little bit more. But yeah, it's exactly the same. So we still like each other's company and we still enjoy each other's company. If I could do this weight loss journey again, what would I change? I would literally not change a thing. I've learnt that everything that I've been through, the plateaus, every single thing that I've been through my weight loss journey, I would not change, because this is what's taught me about myself and about the way that I eat, and it's basically what's fed into my habits and routines now. So I really wouldn't change anything, because it's all about the journey. It is literally all about the journey, and it is never going to end. It's never going to stop, but it's about enjoying it along the way. Always use all of my points, and I always will. I thoroughly enjoy them, and I'm glad I did, because I think if I would have really struggled getting to goal with not having those points. What do I do when I feel I'm going to overeat? How do I deal with it? If I feel a binge coming, I will say no for quite a while. I can even put a binge off for a couple of days, and it'll be in my head, and then I'll go, hang on a minute. What I did before is I'd go to the point where I would binge, and I did that sort of like towards the end of, not last year, the year before. I was going through a bit of a binge cycle. So what I do now is, if I feel a binge coming, I'll say no for a couple of days. When I feel the overwhelming binge come in, I will have a day off. I'll plan a day off. I'll eat those foods that I've been craving for the past few weeks, have a day off, relax, eat those foods, then I'll get back on plan the next day. That's helped a lot, because like I said, I was going through a bit of a binge cycle. So it's about looking at what I was doing, why I was doing it, and then the fact that I was saying no for so long I'd hit the wall and binge. So I need to do, I can say no for so long, but when I know I'm going to hit that wall and it's not gone and it's not going to dissipate, because I do have days where I go, oh, I'm going to overeat, and then the next day I'm absolutely fine. But if I do it on consecutive days, I'll go, no, I'm having a day off, and then that's it. So I will think about thank you everybody about the crowdfunding. I will think about it. It's just in my head. I just go, no, that's really cheeky. And my partner's the same. He's gone, no, it's really cheeky. Thank you very much. Cindy B has reached her first 10k weight loss today in weighing. Really believe it's due to my advice and guidance, and showing me that it's not a diet, it's reprogramming the mind and however you feel. Congratulations, well done. Brilliant. Thank you very much. No, that's fantastic. Well done. 10k is blooming brilliant. Right. Well done on your weight loss again. Just talking about food, mommy, I'm just really thirsty. I really need to have a drink, but I think it's rude if I have a drink when I'm drinking. So I'm going to go and have my cup of tea. I've got 24 weeklies left and I've got 2 dailies. My points reset on Thursday. So I'm gonna have my cup of tea that I've already appointed, and I might have a bit of chocolate. I haven't decided what I'm gonna have yet. I'm definitely gonna have a packet of crisps though. So thank you, Rob. Pauline's asked, this is the last question, and then any more I'm going to do another one if everybody would like me to. Would you like me to do it next Saturday about, shall I go for 6 o'clock again or 7? If you quickly just put 6 or 7 on Saturday, and then I'll quickly decide. I know I've got some Australians and stuff, so you're getting up really early. So if you want me to do it at 7 on next Saturday, I will schedule it in for 7 next Saturday. Right, I've got a few more 7s and 6s. So should we say 6:30? We'll go for, I know, so yeah, I've got some New Zealand and some thingies. We'll go for 7 o'clock, and then I'll try and keep it to an hour if I can. But if you've got questions, just ask me on the day, because I am very easily sidetracked, you can tell. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope I didn't waffle too much, and I've done over 100 minutes now, so I'm going to let you go and get your snacks and get ready for bed, I think. It's nearly time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.